Okay, be patient. This is going to bloom. This is my alcohol stove. It's priming right now. I've got a flame underneath the stove. It'll warm up the alcohol that's in the can. It'll warm up the alcohol that's in the stove, and it'll begin to bloom here shortly. I made this out of a couple of Arizona iced tea cans several years ago, 4 or 5, and I tried it last night with some Gasline antifreeze, some heat type. It's another brand, but it's kind of like heat that you put in with your gas. And this is some denatured alcohol that I have in here now. So once that heats up, it'll start coming out of the vents, the gas vents, hopefully. I need to make a little more room between. I've got a little gap, a piece of wire that I formed to sit below that stove, and it's supposed to give me a little space in between the pan that the stove sits in, so I can have that fuel down there and let it burn to heat up the fuel that's in the stove. It needs to start boiling in there, and that'll create a gas that will light, and we call that a bloom once it starts to take off. Should happen any second now. Hang on. I have to have the light off so you can see the flame. If I turn the light on, you can't even see that flame. Okay, here it's starting right now. Oh, started. It'll go here any second. There they come. And I put 2 ounces of roughly, you know, I've got them in a little plastic bottle, and I have it just marked off by eyeball. About 2 ounces of denatured alcohol in there, and that should burn for over 20 minutes. This stove is great. Just a little beat up old. It's kind of beat up now just from handling it because it's made out of aluminum. But it should take off here any second. It's two bottoms from the Arizona iced tea cans, and then there's an inner wall that it's made out of these are 24-ounce cans, and a 16-ounce can that creates an inner wall, and then those holes are drilled. See? Isn't that pretty? It's called a bloom. And that big yellow flame, that'll go out once all the fuel below that preheated this is burned up. That'll go away. So anyway, let's see if I can do this in the dark, one-handed. Ouch, that's hot. Hang on a minute here. Grab it down on the bottom where it's cold, if I can. Without spilling it, because if you spill this, that's liquid, flammable liquid in there. But this is, I'll show you the stove in a minute. And I've got a, okay, it's going pretty good. I've got a double boiler here that I just got today, and I've got both pans, the top and the bottom pan, they both have water in them, and I'm going to see how long it takes to boil that top pan. That's the stove. I just got that from Amazon. I paid $18 for that, I think. I've got it's called a Solo stove that I bought a few years ago, and that thing cost 50 bucks. And this is every bit as good, I believe, if not better. So anyway, I'm going to let that go. I didn't look at the time yet. It's 9:38. I think that flame started probably about 9:35. And I just put the water on. So I'm going to come back after this is my workbench. I got all kinds of crap on here. So I'm going to check it out a little bit later, see how long it takes to boil, and see how long that that flame lasts. How long that fuel will burn. 2 ounces of fuel. It should burn for over 20 minutes. The one I did last night did, and I did this a few years ago, and it burned for more than 20 minutes every time, which is pretty fuel efficient. So I'll be back. Actually, I came back just to show what that flame looks like. It's burning beautifully. Spreads out very nice under the pan. So, okay, I'll be back. I can hear the water starting to heat up in that bottom pan already. Okay, that bottom pan is boiling rapidly already, and it's just been 9:41 right now. So it's only took 3 minutes for that to start boiling, and we'll see how long it takes for this top one. It's fairly warm already, so we'll see how long it takes that top one to start boiling, just from the heat from the boiling water in the bottom pan. I want to show you that flame again. That looks great. That is perfect. If you look down in there, you can still see the individual little flames. That's beautiful. I'll be back. Okay, that's how long has it been? It's been 9:44. What did I say? Okay, it's been about 9 minutes since that stove started, and it only took 3 minutes. It just took about 3 minutes for that bottom pot to start boiling. I'm going to show. Ouch, that's hot. You got to be careful not to get burned doing this. That's been a rolling boil, and there's not a whole lot of water in there because this pan sits halfway up to that ring down in there, and I think I left enough gap to allow a little space, in between the bottom of the pan and the top of the water. This water is starting to steam right now. A lot of steam coming off, and it's been right at 10 minutes since that started, so this should burn for at least another 10 minutes, maybe a few minutes longer than that. And actually, this thick pot holder that I have, it's good to lay on top to help retain some of that heat inside. So we're going on 8 minutes since I started the video. I'll be back when that top one starts boiling.